have a sketch that's actually from the Sketch and Scrap Facebook group and Blogspot. I am going to be using That's My Boy paper collection, and this is a super old collection, but I tend to use it quite a bit. One, I have a lot of papers with it, and two, I just think that it's a perfect kind of boy layout. I am starting with the pocket page that will be in between these two layouts. I had a ton of photos of the boys, which are Kevin's boys, as well as my nephew, on this like rope climbing course, and I wanted to use all those photos, but it would have just been way too many photos to use on a double page layout. So what I do when I start with my pocket pages is I go ahead and add all the photos that I want in the pocket pages, and then I determine what cards or paper I want to use in the slots that are left, and that tends to be where I will rearrange the photos and make it look appealing. And then after I complete the double page layout, I will then go back and embellish the papers or the pieces that I think will be needed for the double page layout. So I decided to turn this sketch on its side, and this sketch I think is from January, maybe February. It's definitely not their current sketch, but there's lots of sketch inspirations over on their Facebook group and the blog, and I will link those below for you guys. So even though I don't use these to enter into their competition or prize drawing or anything like that, I still think they're really good sketches. I love this airplane paper, and I thought that it was a perfect piece to add to this layout because they are really at the top of the building, and when you see the photos you can actually see the ceiling because they were really close to the ceiling. This is an indoor amusement park area. I'm not exactly sure what to call it. It is in Wisconsin. When we were up there for our trip to see snow, it was super cold, and it was just one of those days that we wanted to get out of the cabin and actually do something. So this was a day that we spent there. The sketch calls for a black piece and then that green piece on top of it. So I decided to go ahead and use this tan paper, and I love the different tickets and things that are on it. Unfortunately, most of it gets covered up with the photos that I have, but I do like the way that some of the pieces are sticking out and you can really see that they are tags. I do gut the inside of this because I decided that I was going to mat some of my photos. I don't end up gutting the right hand side of it, and I really wish I would have because I end up gutting it later on, and you'll see that in the video, and it's not very pretty. I used my banner punch from Stampin' Up! To create a banner on this page. This is one of my favorite punches, and I know that you can get this punch at Hobby Lobby as well. It is a little bit different. My friend Heather went, and I haven't actually looked at the banner punch in detail, but the things that I've heard from my friends are that the points of the banner on the Hobby Lobby punch is a lot more pointy. And then Heather also said that it does not go down to 1 inch, but it does go larger than 2 inches. So if you are looking for this punch, it's either Stampin' Up! Or Hobby Lobby, and whatever works for your scrapbooking needs. Now that I've got kind of the bones of the left side that I'm using the sketch, I decide that I'm going to start working on the right hand side, and I use the piece of navy paper that I gutted from the left side, and then when I put it down on the paper I realized that I backed it on the exact same color paper as the background, so I needed to put another piece. I end up using the spaceship side of that paper only because I really liked the brown, that khaki brown color, and it really went well with the brown that is on the left-hand side of the layout. So once I get this down, I will use my We Are Memory Keepers layering guide, which I am loving this thing. I think I've told you guys that in every video that I've used it. It's just a great, great tool to have. I take out the 6x6 paper pad and I'm going to use this piece of paper here. I'm going to cut 2 pieces. I think they're probably about 2 inches. I didn't really measure them, but I knew that I was going to tuck them underneath the mat of photos. So it didn't matter what it looked like because I knew that it was going to kind of be covered up. I'm looking for a piece to kind of go behind that number paper, and I really think I'm going to go with this blue here, but then I find a yellow, a little small piece of yellow, and I really like the way that that pops against the navy. And I then decide that I'm going to kind of Frankenstein it, which you will see when I move the photos. There are only 4 little pieces, but the way that they are placed on the layout, it makes it look like it is a very large piece of pattern paper. So I knew where my photos were going to be, and I went ahead and used that as kind of a guide to put the yellow paper down. And once I get the yellow paper down, then I'm going to go ahead and add the numbers paper, and this is where you'll start to kind of see the layout come together and how the number paper and the photos cover up that big hole in the middle of my layout. This is a great way to use 6x6 paper pads. You could totally make this right side of the layout and use it as a scrap lift with just 6x6 pattern paper, because even though that plain paper extends across the layout, you really only need it on the left hand and right hand side of that photo block. The sketch itself calls for a tag at the top, so I cut the tag using my tag punch board and then realized that I cut it the wrong way. I wanted it to be on the wide side, not more like a bookmark. So once I get that cut out the right way, I will tuck it up there at the top to showcase that tag that's in the sketch. And then I'm just going to start with my embellishments. I go ahead and put some pop dots on the back of this ephemera piece here that says snapshot. And I do use a couple of pieces from the sticker sheet, but I use more from my own collection. I did fussy cut this word cool out. I thought it was really a nice touch to this layout, and I like that light blue against the navy over there on the right hand side. So as I'm adding a few more embellishments, I just wanted to tell you guys about a new adventure that I am currently trying out. I don't know if it's going to be something that I do long term, but I thought that it might be something different that you guys would want to see. A lot of you commented on my 2-year anniversary video that you enjoyed learning about me and about my life outside of my layouts. And so I got the idea of maybe I should start a vlog about life behind my layouts. And that's actually what my series is going to be called, Life Behind Layouts. I have a couple videos that I posted yesterday of kind of my life on a Saturday and what it looks like to be a single person who scrapbooks and what I do on the weekends, and I work full time. And so I go into a little bit of detail about that. These videos are going to be posted on Instagram TV. It's actually IGTV. If you follow me on Instagram, you can go over there and check out the videos there. And these are a little bit different than the stories on Instagram. I see a lot of people doing the stories, but the biggest thing in regards to the stories that I don't like is that it does go away after 24 hours. And I feel like as a scrapbooker, that is not something that I want to ever happen in any of my documentation. I don't want it to go away. And this is minor stuff. It's not major details, but I've also been struggling recently with scrapbooking and not having my own photos to scrapbook. So I think that this will give me an idea of some layouts that I can actually create. One of the layouts that I'm going to do is some of the photos that I took yesterday are actually going to make it into a layout. And I'm not sure the title of the layout or anything like that, but it was just like random photos of me cleaning my house and the current candle that I am in love with. And I'm going to create a double page layout with that. And I'm probably going to print those photos fairly quickly so that I can get that layout up so that you guys can kind of see that. You guys will be able to see the full picture of me documenting that day stuff on my Instagram, and then you'll be able to see the process video of me actually creating it. So now that I've rambled on about that, I will link it below so that you guys can check it out if you would like. But back to the layout, I have started working on the pocket page, and I put quite a bit of journaling on this layout, and so I used that card there that has a lot of journaling spaces, and I just wrote that at the Knucklehead Trampoline and Indoor Amusement Park, you are in for a fun-packed family experience. Malachi, Hunter, Jack, Adam, and Nicole were able to complete the ropes course. We were able to burn off some of that energy from being inside with all the snow. And I did pull that kind of first sentence from their website. Usually if you go to their website, they are pretty good about documenting what their facility is all about. So why not use that information in your scrapbook layouts if you are having problems or struggling with trying to figure out what journaling. So I just used that kind of first sentence, and then I went into the details of my layout. And then this card here that I am working on, I actually put Knuckleheads Wisconsin Dells, which is where it's located. And it's very hard to see in the video, but you can see it really well in real life. And I was so happy with how many little tile stickers that I was able to use. I mean, that is a lot. I just added a little good times sticker to that 4x6 card there because I didn't feel like there was any more needed to that. I wanted those airplanes to really showcase. And then I didn't do anything at all to the You Rock card. All right, everyone, that is my final layout as well as some close-ups. If you enjoyed this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already and you want to see more double page layouts, make sure you hit that subscribe button because that's all you're going to get on my channel. And I hope that you guys check out my new adventure over on Instagram TV and see the life behind layouts. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope that you have a scrappy day.